and welcome to episode 29 of our Project Hybrid bike build. And there's so much more to do. Why sorry?
Just sorry, it's going on, isn't it?
No, it's not going on. It's informative and exciting, and it's prolonging the excitement, isn't it? Anyway, let's get cracking with today's video, and we have an announcement to make in the beginning. So roll the intro and let's get on. So, first things first, it's cold actually.
It is very cold.
But it is the end of October, so deal with it.
Yeah.
Right, if you remember at the end of our last bike build video, we said we were going to give away these foot pegs because I'm not going to use them. So, you might as well have them. Now, we said if you put a comment in the link, or no, in the comment section below.
Can I have them please?
Can I have them please? Yes, that we'll put you in for the draw and we'll choose a winner. So, what are we going to do?
We're going to take this pile of paper, which has names on, individually, obviously, throw them in the air. Mark is going to catch one, possibly, and whoever that is will receive set foot pegs. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Did you get one?
No.
Okay, I've got three.
I have three too.
Good.
No, I have three, not 3, 2.
Yeah. Incidentally, there's 6 names, which is why we're saying 3 and 3, or whatever. Okay, ready? Okay, ready?
Yeah. I have
got one.
Nice.
Okay.
Right, so the winner is,
If you can open it.
I'm Old Greg.
No, you're not. He is.
No, I'm Old Greg.
Excellent.
So, I'm Old Greg, congratulations, these are off to you. All we need is for you to send us an email to contact@motorsforthemasses.co.uk. Website is about there, just coming in, here, there, like that. Okay, send us an email with your name and your address, and we will send these off to you. Congratulations, I'm Old Greg.
And commiserations to Callum, the official jawster, was Callum someone or other, I forget his name. Michael, who's this one? John, and finally, this one's a bit wonky, one that open. Sheaf Biker.
Okay,
Sheaf.
sorry, maybe next time. There'll be others.
Well done, Greg.
Absolutely.
Presume your name's Greg.
Yeah, I assume you're
I'm
Greg, and I
Greg.
assume you're old.
Yeah.
If not,
Whatever.
yeah.
Well done.
Right, so today's plans, Malcolm.
Initially, we need to stick our LED bulbs in here.
Yes.
But we need some power also. Actually, I was thinking about this. It's not such a good idea because we need to be able to switch the lights on.
We do.
Because you need to get them the right way around.
Yes.
Because the LED bulbs only work one way. One way.
Now,
That's how many ways they work. One way.
is it?
Yeah.
Just the one way,
Yeah.
not 4?
No, definitely one.
Okay. Something I want to touch on that some people mentioned, or one person mentioned actually, about these instruments. Someone said that they are too high, they should be lower. Now, I can see where you're coming from. Oh, before you say anything, we are adjusting this. I know I said that we'd already adjusted it, and I apologise if that was a bit of a lie.
It wasn't enough.
We have adjusted it, but it isn't enough, and it's still there. So we did adjust it. We just thought, oh, do you know what? We've had enough for today. We went home. For me, is there. Anyway, the reason why these clocks are slightly higher is because, please remember, it's a Cafe Scrambler hybrid. It's a different build. It's not a Cafe Racer and it's not a Scrambler. It's something we are creating on our own, and I think the look is good. I like the fact the dials are quite high because it gives it that slight scrambly look on the front.
And you don't lay over this bike, so you don't need
don't.
the dials to be further away.
Indeed, and they're not clip-on handlebars, and we're not going to have clip-on handlebars. So please remember that. If, after we've built the bike, we think, do you know what, it's a bit too high.
Yeah, and we've got the option, we can flip this bracket up the other way, maybe drop it
Exactly.
3/4 of an inch.
But that means also dropping the light, and I'm quite happy the way it is at the moment, to be honest.
Maybe, we might be able to do it without moving the light, but we've had comments about the light being too high also. And one comment said about it covering this if we were to lower it, but on top of that, it'll be too close to the wheel.
Yeah.
If you look at any Scrambler bike, there's a lot of suspension travel. And
Yeah.
okay, this may not have all that suspension travel, but
It's going for the look.
Creates the illusion.
Exactly. So, watch this space.
Yeah,
See what it turns out like, and then we'll make a decision.
absolutely.
Right.
Put some bulbs in. We can make it work.
Yes, we have bulbs.
We talked about that. You got all excited about a thing post conversation.
What are you talking about it?
Yeah, one way.
Oh, is that what that was about?
Yeah, they only go in
That was
one
my
way.
mind. I wasn't listening.
No,
Not at all. Mal, got a confession to make.
Yeah. We're not going to do the bulbs first things first, simply because we want to show you a before and after. So we need to wire it up a bit so we can flick the lights on so we can show you that they're dim and rubbish, then fit these and show you that they're not dim and rubbish, hopefully. So later.
So, what I've put on first is going to put on the camera screen and controller. Now this comes with it, it's just a clamp that you clamp on and tighten it up and clamp it down, no problem. And I bought a waterproof case to put it in, so here it is, and that just basically slots on like so, and we will put another pad behind because it's a little bit loose, so we'll put another pad behind so it slots on there nicely. Now I know when you first look at it you think, oh, it's a bit cumbersome, a bit clumsy, but it's not going to be on there all the time. It's only going to be on when I'm riding. When I'm not riding, I'll take it off and stick it in my backpack. When I go to shows, it'll go off and in the backpack. So it's not going to be on display all the time, but it's handy and it's there. And I think that works out quite well. I've got this waterproof case which is actually for a mobile phone, and just zip the wires in and jobbed. I'm really pleased with that. The whole thing's waterproof anyway. So I mean, there was the thought of, well, maybe we can just mount it like so, which we may still do, we don't know yet. But I think for now, it looks okay. You've got to think when the tank is on and everything else is on, it's not going to look too bad, especially considering there's going to be a GPS on this side as well, so that will equal it out quite nicely. So there we go. One job. Now we're going to look at the camera. Now the front camera mount. There's a few options. Now we did originally say we were going to put it up here with the instrument cluster, but it's going to be a bit bulky and a bit in the way. Then there was a consideration to put it on top of the light, but again, a bit bulky, a bit in the way. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drill a couple of holes in the bottom of the headlight here. Obviously take the headlight apart so I don't hit any wires. And I'm going to mount it to the bottom of that. Now wherever it goes on the front of the bike, there's always going to be spray if it goes out in the rain. However, not really going to be a rainy weather bike. So I don't think it's going to be much of an issue, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mount it under here, like so, to the bottom of the headlight. Obviously this will be straight, of course. And that's where it'll go. So we're going to do that now. So first thing is to undo the lights. Before that goes back on, we will adjust these brackets so they are level. Right, I've marked where it needs to be and I've drilled a couple of holes, as you can see here. And I'm just going to measure the size. We're going to use a couple of the bolts that we're holding the front mudguard on, but we can always get some more of those, it's no problem. Needs to be slightly larger. So we're going to change that just to make the hole slightly bigger. So now what we'll do is mount the camera positioned over the holes. Like so. I'm going to use a nylock nut because we don't want it to come off again. Now obviously this is going to be bolted up properly, but just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. There we go, one mounted camera.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, it's nice and subtle, nice and sturdy. Obviously I'll do those bolts up in a minute. But there you go, really pleased with that. That's good, I'm liking that. Not too keen on the white sticker. Might just get a pen in there and black that out. But once it's clamped down, you probably won't see it, to be honest.
Take it off and put a black one on there.
But I'm happy with that. Really like it. Meanwhile, Mal, just talk through what you're doing, will you?
Trying to tin up a skanky old wire. I think I might just throw it away and get a different one.
Right, okay. So, other than that, what are you doing?
Actually, that's alright. Just wiring up some ignition so we can get this cluster finalised, put in place, and then we can wire it up to the rest of the loom over here. And then we can start switching things on and checking stuff works, mostly lights. And then we can move on to wiring the engine up and putting the carbs on, etc.
Brilliant.
It's all good. Look, I've done stuff.
Brilliant. So basically what he's done, just to, for English for the rest of us, he's soldered it up, wired it up, put some braid on and made it nice and neat.
Yeah, I've combined the ignition wires with the cluster wires so it's all a little bit more secure. Put a nice little boot on there to make it tidy.
Right, so there was a slight issue with this, and because of all the wires and everything else being plugged in there now...
Well, the ignition barrel was slightly bigger. It didn't fit on the yoke.
Yeah, so what have you done?
So, I had to space it out. So I've raised it up a bit. With some washers.
You raised it up.
With a total count of 5 washers.
Oh my god!
So yeah, so there's some washers in there. And hopefully it's not going to be too high for this now.
Oh my god!
It'll easily amused.
So now on to the rear camera. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to use this piece of metal here and this hacksaw here, and I am going to make, sorry about the sounds, it's the heater when it oscillates, or operates as Malcolm says. I'm going to draw out a small bracket, cut it out, and then we're going to mount it to this camera here. And then that will sit up there like so. So you won't be able to really see it. You can see it of course, but it's going to be quite nice and subtle stuck in there, I think. Looking forward to that. Going to draw around and make it slightly bigger. Like so. So I cut myself a piece of metal. Now what I'm going to do is bend it slightly so it's got like a little hump in the middle. So it goes up inside the canister. And then I'm going to bend this up as well so there's a hump in the middle, and then drill a hole in to be able to put that over the Schrader valve that's in there. So that's my plan. I'm just going to neat it up a little bit as well, and once it's fitted and it's all in place I'm going to spray this black so you won't notice it. So watch this space. Don't watch this space, we'll come back in a minute. So here is the bracket. I've ground it down quite a bit because it was rather large and it wouldn't fit in the hole. So managed to do that, drilled the holes. I'm now going to remount the camera just to make sure it goes on. And Malcolm has managed to wire up the start of the bike.
Yeah, but nothing else.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand why nothing's happening.
Pass me the camera, please. Behind you. Thank you. What do you mean nothing's happening?
Well, I've got lights on the instruments, but not headlights and indicators and such. Scrambler supply for the switch or something.
Right, so there it is. The bracket mounted on. I shall now screw that to the bottom of the Schrader valve. Okay, I've just turned the nuts and bolts around because I realised I put them in the wrong way around. I put the nuts on the bottom and I didn't want that, I want them on the top. It looks much smoother from the bottom side then, doesn't it? Silly me. And there we have a mounted camera. It is nice and solid, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, okay, you can see some white bits down here, but once I've sprayed that, you won't be able to notice it. So I'm going to spray it black and that will blend in quite nicely. Then the wire will go up along the back of the oil canister, and underneath here through the seat and wire up to the unit at the front. So yeah, there we go, one rear mounted camera. So there we go, now it's painted black. That can go on there and hide away. So that's what we'll do now. Mount it on there, hide it away, and then screw in the camera.
And you just have to touch your finger on there and you get a little bit of voltage, really tiny bit there. Barely touch it. The harder you press it, the more power you get. Which is odd because I shouldn't be able to conduct 12 volts through my finger. Not like that.
And what you can hear in the background there is, unfortunately, Malcolm's having issues with the fuse box. Not quite sure why or how, simply because it was working perfectly before.
Yeah.
And now it seems to be shorting out.
Well, it's not doing anything. It's just, you touch it and you get power on the fuses, you let go of it and it's gone away. But you can touch it with the tiniest whisper of a press and you get like 1 volt. Press it firmer and it goes up like a variable resistor. Very strange. But it is conducting through me because if I join those two, they'll be that fuse out. It's really strange.
And of course, until the wiring and the main fuse are sorted out, we can't connect these up and figure out if they're working fine or if they're lined up or not. But for now, that will go up through there, and that is pretty damn awesome. I'm going to take you in for a closer look. There, really chuffed with that. Not having much fun though, are you, Mark?
No.
So the next thing is the little lock switch. Now, I've mounted it here on the side of this, of course, neatly out of the way, and then if I need to lock a film, I can just easily push the button, like so. That's waterproof, that's not going anywhere. Marvellous. Meanwhile, back at the wiring.
Yeah, we've made lights happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
should we look?
Yeah, but no indicators yet. We're working on that.
Okay, lights. Yay! And we've got the daytime running light.
Main bit.
Main B, yeah. Indicator's not working yet, but if we go around the back here, we have lights and brake. Yay! So glad I've got that middle brake because those side ones are rubbish!
Absolute rubbish, aren't they? They probably shine up quite well on video, but
Yeah.
we'll find out what they are.
However, the indicator's next.
Yeah. Probably says feed, just not doing.
I have a whinge over here because he has to sit here quietly whilst we're recording and he doesn't like it, do you?
Push the button, yeah.
You want to push the button of the lights?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, push the brake pedal. Or push the brake lever. I'll show you which one it is. Right,
Okay.
Malcolm, I'll show you.
Okay.
Come on. Yay, lights! Yay, well done. Okay, now you can sit back in your corner now. Okay, so next I've mounted the USB neatly under there, like so, with 2 slots. There. Just got to tighten up that strap and then we're in. Nicely hidden away under there.
Yay!
Thanks, Patrick. So next job is to refit the caliper. Now it's been nicely sprayed and we've got the new pads in. So we'll get that on now. Of course, I have to take off the tape first. Put that on when I was spraying it to protect the pads. Goes through here. Let's just tighten those up and they'll be on there quite nicely. That beeping sounds like you're having progress.
No, that's confusion.
Oh, because the indicators are not on and unfortunately it's beeping. So that sounds like there's a connection but there's no indicators.
What that is a connection directly between left and right.
Right.
What how can there be a connection between left and right? Switch is off, hazards are off,
Really?
and yet it's got a dead short between left and right.
Now this is brand new switchgear. Slightly confused what's going on here. I think there's a bare wire that's...
No, I don't think so.
Now once the bike is up and running and we know where it needs to be, we can use this to adjust it in and out if need be. But for now, that's on. So we've got rear indicators, Matt. What's going on here?
Well, the wire that feeds the switch from the relay, this connector, although it's plugged in and looks perfectly legit, it is not connecting. If I just twiddle it about a little bit, look, it flickers and does iffy things, and that's why I was getting no power, because although I was jamming the multimeter lead in there, I was making connection with the outside. The inside is not making a full connection. So I'm going to pop that out of there and hopefully I don't rip the wire out of it, because it's a really tight fit. You wouldn't believe it's not working. I'm going to squeeze the outsides of this crimp to make it smaller. I've got a microphone in my head.
Sorry.
And then I'm going to jam that wire back in there again and hope that this see my poking here. Poking Allen key.
Yes.
So we're on?
Yep.
No flicker in that?
No.
That's what it was. It just wasn't making connection in that.
That's all it was. Just a dodgy connection in the wire.
That's a brand new connector as well.
It is.
That's crazy. Alright, so
Problem solved.
now I've got to rewire everything I've unwired.
It's getting dark. We've been here all day.
To figure out. Yeah.
Well, you have.
Yeah. Can't believe how ridiculous that was. Okay, so we've now got...
But that shows the errors you can get when building a bike. You know,
Yeah, I mean that's
there's pitfalls that can take up almost all day.
2 brand new connectors.
It's gone off.
So it has.
Yeah.
That's still iffy.
Still a bit dodgy.
So, found the issue. If we get right down inside there, I don't know if you can see in there or not. In fact, I can show you because I can snap the end of the connector off now because it's been on and off a few times. That wire is not actually crimped. I've got the insulation on both parts. So that was touching on there when you wiggled it and making connection, but in the meantime...
A slight error in the wiring up.
Yep. Just the crimp was put on too far when I crimped it.
Okay.
So that's my fault.
That's all right.
Just didn't show itself till now.
Meanwhile, the nasty rain has set in.
Yeah.
Now that just goes to show that you can have tiny little issues when building a bike that can last hours. Been through lots of wires to try and figure out which one is not working properly, and that is it, which is the problem with the indicators. Unfortunately, when building bikes, it is a learning curve as well, and we've learned something, haven't we?
Yeah. Make sure you get the leading wire.
But it's okay, don't worry, that means we've learnt, and future bike builds will be even better. Won't they, Malcolm?
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, back to the rain. So we're just going to, before we finish, we're just going to have a look at the instrument light. Now this is the standard bulb. So this is what's in it at the
I'm
moment.
going to cover up these LEDs so you can actually see it.
Yeah. Wow, look at that look. Isn't that amazing?
So bright.
Yeah. So without the cluster in, look at that look. Oh, so bright. Not. So let's change them over for the LEDs and see what difference it makes.
Yes.
So now with the new LED in, oh, see I've gone for orange ones, you see, to match the bike. Now obviously these aren't as bright as they're supposed to be, simply because we've used a lot of battery juice today.
Yeah.
Moment of truth?
Oh, they are visible.
Yes, at least you can see it now.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, it is going to be a lot brighter once the bike is running and the battery is charged.
Yeah, we're down to about 9.5 volts or something.
Yeah, not doing well. So before we end today's video, I just want to touch on the Patreon thing. Now, if you didn't see our last video, we went into a bit more detail on that. And we're just going to touch on this video, simply because it's about bike building. And this is our bike build video. Now, we want to build more bikes and give them away to you, our viewers.
Not all of them.
No. Yeah, not all the bikes, unfortunately. Yeah. But we want to build more and give them away. Now, the only way we can do that is to set up Patreon, because unfortunately it's expensive to do and we can't afford to do it ourselves, because
And
we
we
pay for everything ourselves.
We haven't got millions of subscribers and millions of views for every video. So.
And we don't have sponsorship, so
Yeah.
you know, it's all coming out of our pockets. We've set up Patreon with 5 tiers. You've got $1, $5, $10, $25 and $50 a month. And again, you don't have to subscribe to this, you don't have to be a part of it, but this is the only way we can build more bikes and give them away.
Each of those tiers has different benefits as well. Different
Absolutely.
Free items per month.
So if you go onto the link in the description below and have a look at what benefits you get in each tier, and you can see which ones you have to go to be able to enter the bike build giveaways. We already know what we're coming up with next. We have a bobber that we're going to be doing, and we've already got the bike lined up. So stay tuned for that one coming in a future video. We've got more bike build coming up. We've got more bike reviews. We've got more car reviews. We've got some fantastic news, some amazing news
and car
coming up.
builds, of course.
Absolutely, car builds as well, yes, Mustang and Cortina and other stuff. You've got some fantastic news coming up, so please stay tuned for that in a future video. It's pretty exciting.
Well, it's for us anyway.
Absolutely, and I think it will be for you, because the benefits is going to open up a whole new range of things we can do.
Yeah.
So, it just goes to show with today's video that some little issues do cause some setbacks. We have got the cameras fitted and mounted.
Yep.
We've got the USB put in.
Yep.
We've got some new bulbs in. We've got what else have we got?
We bent the headlight bracket, so it's now.
Oh yeah, so that's now level.
Well, it needs tweaking a touch.
Yeah,
It's
it
mostly straight.
actually turns out that it wasn't the bracket; it's the light inside. So we have to take the whole light inside apart,
Rotate
undo all
it.
the clips, and rotate it slightly. And we've gone a little bit too far.
Yeah. But I think that's because we bent the brackets and
It'll be sorted,
undone.
no problem at all. So Malcolm, the error today, what was that?
Yeah, so dodgy connector, my fault, I didn't crimp it correctly. But I'm glad we found it now rather than a few months' time when you're riding and suddenly you've got no indicators and lights and whatnot. So that's a handy thing to have found now.
Absolutely.
Plus it means that we can sort of redo some wiring and make it a little bit neater.
Yes.
Especially the stuff on the back end there, which was a bit of a bird's nest.
So the next bike build video will see us really finishing this off and getting very, very close to finishing. And that's all we've got time for this episode. If you do like this video, please click like. If you didn't like it, then click dislike. You know, we'd rather you didn't, but if you do, then so be it.
It's all good.
If you could subscribe if you're not already, then please do so. If you are, then fantastic. And I would like to add that we have had 5 Patreons now. 5 Patreons? 5 patrons.
Yeah.
So things
very
are
much.
progressing. Thank you very much for all of you that have subscribed and joined our Patreon page already. And for those that are thinking about it, like I say, have a look at the tiers and see if you want to contribute. If you do, it's only going to benefit you. Trust
it
us.
doesn't cost much.
None of
and
that
there's plenty
money
benefits.
is going to come to us. It's all going to go on the bike bills, and they're going to be given away.
But not this bike bill, because this one's pretty much paid for.
Absolutely, yes.
is,
And this is my baby, so I paid for all this myself. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, please
Click the
ride
bell.
and drive carefully.
Click the bell. Got to click the bell.
Every
You
time
didn't
I
say
come to
click
do
the
the end,
Yep.
you mess me up.
Yep. You didn't.
Please ride and drive carefully.
Have fun and stuff.
No, but have fun.
But have fun.
Butthead.
But, yeah.